Hey, it's Peter from Primal Charge, and today I'm going to be going through the first Primal Charge album, Look to the Smoke, track by track. So, starting with the title track, Look to the Smoke, this was actually the first Primal Charge song ever written. And at the time, I was still in the band In the Act of Violence. And we had written an album at the time, and there was a little bit of internal stuff going on with the band. So I just kept writing, as I usually do. And this song, when I first demoed it, I thought, I need an outlet for this. I've always made music on my own, even if I was in another band. And just the strength behind this song, I thought it needs its own project. So this was really the kickoff point for Primal Charge. And lyrically, it's about people fighting for their own cause. And we know, especially with social media, there's all these different causes and things that people believe in. And it was built off this imagery of a riot, a fire, and then being able to see the smoke from the battle and following those smoke signals. So look to the smoke to find your people, to find your cause. The second track on the album is Am I a Pawn? And the riffs from the song idea actually came from a session I did in 2015, which never really went anywhere. But I was always fond of that track. I felt the song itself was strong. It was originally in C sharp, and since I had started writing the Primal Charge stuff in B flat, I transposed the song into B flat. And I thought it sounded great, so I went with it and wrote some lyrics for it and finished the song off. Lyrically, it's a anti-politics song, and I think at the time where I lived, there was a election that I truthfully wasn't happy with, so I was kind of just feeling bitter towards the political landscape, and that's what the song was about. It just basically saying politicians aren't out to help you, they're out for themselves. And that's what the song ended up being about.
No one understands how you decide that the world did not deserve life. Now her mother mourns the piece of her that is dead and gone.
On the album is Her Precious Soul. And this was a very dark, kind of ominous song, which, I'm a Sabbath lover, so that always comes naturally to me. You'll hear plenty of that stuff out of Primal Charge. And I wrote the song, I was really happy with it, and I was struggling to write lyrics. And I remember sitting down on my own one morning, just trying to come up with something, one line or something to kick it off and get it started. And what happened here in Ontario, Canada, is they had started this Amber Alert system where if a child was missing for a certain amount of time, there would be an alert sent out to everybody's cell phone in the region, just saying that there was a missing child, and they would give as much detail as possible. So this was the first widespread Amber Alert. And it went out at I think it was 1 or 2 in the morning. And, it woke up my wife and I. And in the morning, I kind of looked up what happened with that. And it turned out that a father had kidnapped his own daughter. I guess he had lost custody. And so he kidnapped his daughter, and when he realized he wasn't going to get away with it, he killed his daughter and then killed himself. And that hit, I'm a father, that hit me pretty hard. And I thought, okay, this is dark subject matter for a dark song. And that's what the song is about. It's just how twisted and messed up that story is. So yeah, all around it's a pretty evil song. And then this was the first Primal Charge music video as well. And it's crazy, some of you have heard this story before, but when I got the music video made for this song, the video artist that I was working with actually found news clips from the incident and put the news clips in the video. And I admired his dedication, but I was like, whoa, that's too much, man, that's way too far. So those got taken out. You won't find them in the final video. But it's just, I mean, it kind of cracked me up that, you know, whatever he thought would be appropriate, but that was just a little bit too far for me to be comfortable with.
Millions of people build up their walls, brace them with stigma and social flaws.
The fourth song is Within Our Walls, and personally, this is still one of my favorite songs that I've ever written. What happened is I had a short work day working in construction. Sometimes we get weather days or we get held up by unforeseen circumstances on construction sites. So I left work early and I went over to the gym. I had a great deadlift session, and then I came home, picked up my guitar, thought, all right, time to write something. And this song sort of spilled out. I think I finished this one in an hour or so. But I love how heavy it is, and it's upbeat. It's the kind of power that I look for in a song a lot of the time. Obviously not always. But the song itself is a mental health song. So this was meant to, there's a lot of war imagery in the song, a lot of battle, but the song is about a battle with yourself. You're going to battle with yourself, and it's your brain, your emotions fighting each other. And that's a lot of the imagery that I used in the lyrics on this one. And then the singer on this is actually a guy named Matt Collicott, and he was my bandmate for most of the time that I was in that band in the act of violence. And by the time I wrote this song, I'm pretty sure I was no longer in the act of violence, and I know for sure Matt wasn't. He left before my time with the band ended. But we were still in contact, and he was the bass player for the band, but he is a great singer. He's a great singer and a great screamer. And I knew I wanted him on this album, so I asked him. He actually does some guest stuff in Her Precious Soul as well. But I think he killed this song. He knocked it out of the park and just added that little bit of extra aggression to the song as well. So those four songs are the original Look to the Smoke EP. This was not released as a full album at first, but when I had the CDs pressed, I added 3 other songs from this era to the CD. So they're technically, you know, hidden tracks or bonus tracks, whatever you want to think about it. But the additional songs to me makes it feel more like an album. And the first additional track was Stormtroopers, which Stormtroopers was completely written and recorded along with the other 4 songs. But the writing for this song was a little bit different. I did it over a Facebook Live session, which at the time Facebook Live was, I guess it was being pushed a lot. So I got onto Facebook Live and I had this idea to write a song completely while I was live. And obviously that, you know, is a bit of a risk because I don't know how that's going to go. Am I going to come up with an idea? Am I going to want to finish it? You know, the way I write music is I don't finish a lot of my ideas. So I started writing and this song came out. Thankfully, I was really happy with it, actually. I'm very fond of the song Stormtroopers. So wrote it all on Facebook Live, arranged it, did the lyrics, and showed a little bit of my lyrical process. Unfortunately, some of those videos are not on Facebook anymore. I probably should have saved them, but oh well, what can you do, right? So the song itself is about World War I soldiers, and I had read about these World War I soldiers who were specially trained to invade trenches. And they were German soldiers called, I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce it, I'm going to butcher it, but the English translation was Stormtroopers. So no, the song is not about Star Wars.
I am the tension you feel inside. I am repulsion subjectified.
The sixth song is a song called Part of You, and this was actually written after the original Look to the Smoke session. This one came to me really naturally, just sort of practicing, improvising, warming up a bit. And rather than being super riff driven, this song is a lot more chord based. And I originally called the song Stoner Rock. That was the working title, which it is a very laid back, mid-tempo tune, a little more spacious. So, and I like the extended solo at the end. It makes it feel like a jam session, which is another thing that if you've been following me now, you know I'm fond of. So this song was almost written by accident, and I was happy with it, so I knew I wanted to release this one. So I sat down to write lyrics, and I enjoy reading about psychology, and Carl Jung had this idea of the shadow being all the sort of repressed parts of yourself that are in your subconscious and sort of inform some of your behaviors and decision making. So this song is supposed to be that shadow side of your personality singing to you, saying, I want you to include me. I want to be part of you. I want you to acknowledge me and recognize me because I'm just here to help you.
Carry on with your fights. Fight, fight, fight. Look around, you're in this alone.
And lastly, the seventh track is called Hold Your Own. And this I actually wrote just before the official recording session for Look to the Smoke. The Look to the Smoke material had already been demoed and was ready to go, but of course I was procrastinating a little bit on releases, and I had launched the name Primal Charge. I had, created the band page and started posting a little bit about what I was doing. I had left In the Act of Violence. So I was kind of on my own, and I was starting to get antsy. I'm like, man, I'm not in a band now. I need to release some music. This EP I'm working on is not ready, but I gotta put something out. I gotta have a little bit of sound behind this name. So I wrote this song with the intention of finishing it quickly and just putting it out to the world. And of course, the song became a message to myself as well. It's me telling myself, you got to hold your own. You got to do the work. No one is going to do any of this for you. No one's going to finish your music for you and release it for you and get it done. So hold your own is me saying, get it done. It's your responsibility. And it just kind of became this sort of more upbeat, heavy track that was supposed to really just be a kick in the ass to myself and make sure I continue to release music. And so there you have it. That is Look to the Smoke. You can stream it on any major platform. You can buy it on Bandcamp, and you can buy the CD on Bandcamp and at the Primal Charge shop. And that is an era, and we're very quickly coming up to the release of the second Primal Charge album, which is called The Darkest Horizon. And that is set to be released early 2026. I'm very excited. You can already hear multiple songs off of that now, like Avalanche of Citizens, The Darkest Horizon, A Brighter Future, and Moving Goals. So stay tuned, and I gotta get the writing process going now for album number 3.